Ladies and gentlemen, it is Open Great League, and we are back at it again. I'm going to be going over a team with Morpeko today. This is the first time I'm using it, so it is interesting. It is very hard hitting. I actually think it's kind of broken, to be honest, and I don't mean the way that like Niantic has it apparently banned from tournaments because it has some weird bug with it. I mean, even though it only has 1600 stats, which is very low in comparison to something like Azumarill, which I believe has like 2200 or something like that. So basically like 50% stronger almost. It's because the new move, Aura Wheel, which is electric the first time you use it, then you transform into the like darker version of the Morpeko, and then you have Dark Wheel with the dark version. It's interesting that you can almost change your coverages, which is really cool. But also Aura Wheel is a ton of damage. It's basically the same as Close Combat and Wild Charge. Yeah, those are the same stats, except that instead of reducing your defense twice, it actually increases your attack one time. So it's wild that this move, if it was on another Pokemon, it'd be absolutely busted, but they're trying to say that it's basically it's normal and fine because it's on this Pokemon that is very frail. And when I say very frail, I mean it will die to everything. You'll see we end up taking a Last Resort from an Umbreon, which basically does nothing to most things, but it does like 75. It does like 75% to Morpeko. So going to be running Morpeko. We're going to have Azumarill in the back with Goodra as the safe swap. Sort of have that water coverage. It's almost like a double water, but a little bit different. So we're going to show you those battles. But first, if you haven't, definitely hit the subscribe button and let's get into it. All right, here it is. Movesets there on the left. It's pretty normal movesets here. Community Day Goodra. Azumarill, we've showcased Azumarill a million times. Also was in the best of team usage for Open Great League a lot. So definitely, if you've watched some of my videos, you definitely know what Azumarill's moveset is. And then I put Aura Wheel. It changes based on what state you're in, but you start in the electric state. So, all right, Lantern. It is water gun. These water guns are actually chunking, and I decide I'm going to throw an Aura Wheel, and then I'm probably going to switch to Goodra. The reason I stayed in at all was just because one thing to note here, actually. Since it's my first time using, maybe it's y'all's first time also seeing this. When you go through the transformation, it delays your timer on the right side right here. Oh, right here. See how that timer's not up? So yeah, it's really interesting. Anyways, really don't want the Azumarill onto the Lantern. That obviously is a very bad matchup. So that's why I wanted to at least get an Aura Wheel off. Maybe if we got a shield, that'd be good. But Goodra is really your best answer to Lantern. You just don't see it that much. So they end up coming in with a Alolan Ninetales here with Powder Snow. They have a ton of energy, but I think I'm going to come in with the Azumarill because I don't want them just throwing into Morpeko easy. I just want to I want to use the bulk of Azumarill to eat up a lot of these moves, so that I still have Morpeko in the back. Yeah, and they end up bringing in Clodsire. This is absolutely perfect for me. If they had brought in Lantern, I don't know. They definitely should have brought in Lantern. I don't know. This is such a good situation for me. I think probably going to go for the shield here. They do go for the Earthquake. Probably makes me think that Stone Edge is the other move they're using. Also, I've heard down from the grapevine, we might be seeing a lot more Stone Edge Clodsires more nowadays. But I'm still using Sludge Bomb, and until other people show me Stone Edge, which we see right here, and it's not the only one, by the way, then I'm going to keep using that. They end up catching here on Lantern, which I'm totally okay with because they have so much energy on Lantern. They're eventually going to throw. The question is, can I farm this all the way down now that it's been defense reduced one stage? And then I decide, you know what, I will beat the Clodsire to a move. He just threw a Stone Edge. He's out 1 or 2, but either way, we're going to get there in 4, which means at the very least we would CMP if they're on the right cycle, and we would win CMP because Morpeko is, I think, 140 attack, which is crazy. That's a crazy amount. I feel like Umbreon's at 90, just to state it. All right. Kanto Raichu. So this is actually tougher than it seems because they do have Brick Break, which is going to be super effective against me, so I can't really stay in this matchup very long. I do decide I'm going to go for 2 of these Psychic Fangs. I'm going to go for good timing here. They're out of move again right now. I could swap in Azumarill if I'm greedy, but probably just switch to Goodra. Because I know a move's coming, so that's why I'm like, I could be greedy and switch into... But then my defense will be reduced, and then I don't know where we're going to be at. So they end up throwing the Mud Bomb here, not enough to KO us, so they're going to have to get
catching you here in the middle of the video. Don't
definitely
subscribe if you haven't. Just take a second,
they actually could farm us down. I'm not sure if I can make it to 2 Aqua Tails here. I really hope I can, but if I can't, I'll just come in with a Azumarill and end up... Oh, yeah, I'll just come in with a Azumarill. I don't care too much about this. I could even take 2 Mud Shots. Oh, you think I can go for like a massive farm down here? No, it's too far. What I'll probably do is go for an Ice Beam Undercharge farm down, depending on their energy count, or just throw Ice Beam at the most efficient time. I can technically even live another one. They end up catching here on Raichu. Honestly, fine with me. If they do come back in with... Oh, do we just let this go? Although this is probably Brick Break as well. I feel like they're running Brick Break Wild Charge. I think the normal moveset for Raichu. So I'm going to try to farm down now. It's tough because I know they have energy on Whiscash. I just don't know if they're 4 away from Mud Bomb. I have a feeling they're not. And they end up coming in with Rapidash. I'm just going to go for the R Wheel here. We're taking way too much damage. Surprise Pokemon here. Definitely an interesting set of Mon. And then we have a Shield, and Azumarill will make it to that Ice Beam. So I did get denied my move the first time coming in with Azumarill against the Whiscash, but this time my move went through. And I'll be able to KO this pretty easily. Alright. Weird team, but also tough. Quagsire, saw a lot of this last time that Open Great League was around, even though it has been nerfed. Also, Lantern's been nerfed, and this is a really bad matchup. I don't know if they missaw the typing here as water, since it's blue. That's unfortunate. I don't know. But actually, maybe it's not the worst. I feel like a Thunderbolt is going to be close to KOing, and 2 of these Thunder Punches are not going to KO. But I do think I'll end up farming this down. The worst possible scenario, though, I guess, is that they get the Thunderbolt off here, and then they farm me down with Quagsire, and then the Shadow Quagsire just has like infinite energy. That could be tough. Will I make it to this Aqua Tail though? I do make it. Okay, nice. We're gonna get some chip. They could even shield if they really wanted to. Okay, yeah. Gonna come in Azumarill and just eat Stone Edge here. Probably just gonna eat 2 Stone Edges. They have so much energy at this point. And then I'm okay eating the 2 Stone Edges. I just want a little bit of energy. I might be able to... Okay, we'll see if they shield. I think whether or not they shield, I don't care that much. I'll probably let this go because it doesn't KO, and then switch into Morpeko. And I'm not going to get like a farm down, but I do want some... This Aqua Tail, we live this. So I'm definitely going to switch here, try to get the farm down here on the Quagsire. It is... Gligar. Okay, I'm going to go Psychic Fangs here so that the next... Well, here's the thing. R Wheel, the electric type, is resisted by Gligar, so I'm switching over to this so that I can go for the R Wheel that is neutral and hope that this ends up KOing. I did notice that when we use our shield on Morpeko on the top right, it doesn't get rid of it right away. There's some sort of timing issue with Morpeko. It's not affecting the game at all. But it is interesting to try to figure out what's going on. They have to shield this one. Let's see if I shield. Okay, see how the shield's not gone, and then the move throws. I wonder why there's such a delay. Maybe that's normal. I'll check the next time we do a shield here. Oh, I should have said in the title, yeah, in the beginning, even though this is not a double dark team, it is... sort of like, how do I say it? It's like tryouts, because I could see myself going Morpeko in the back as the new Scrafty sort of finisher type thing. Once I get the debuff onto the Altaria, I'm like, maybe I can farm it down before they get to a move, but they do end up throwing. But this is probably a Sky attack. The only thing is, what's the other dark type? Is it going to be... Because it's so different than the other dark types. It's almost just electric, and it just so happens to be dark. I think I end up coming into Azumarill here, just trying to eat some energy. Yeah, because technically Dugong doesn't do that much to Azumarill, so I'd rather they just threw energy, and I'm gonna try to go all in on Morpeko in the back. Yeah, they end up coming with Clodsire, and I'm like, the problem is, okay, so Psychic Fangs is actually good against Clodsire, but they need to be lower than this. We need to get them into one Psychic Fangs range, basically. And even though I am reduced with that Icy Wind, I'm okay just going for these 2 Ice Beams, trying to get it to Psychic Fang range. But anyways, it's so different from Umbreon that I probably wouldn't run it with Umbreon. I would probably run it with maybe Licky Licky, actually, because it has also the flying coverage, which is weird. Or what I really want to run it with is Malamar. It's because Malamar is probably the best dark type right now, because Malamar is just insane in general. So yeah, we'll see what I end up cooking up for the Double Dark. Maybe that should be the title of this video, Double Dark Tryouts. I think I might make it that. I'm going to let Morpeko go. They're going to have Dugong here. The thing is, I need a lot of energy. I need to shield this move, and then I kind of have to hope that I can... They're probably 4 away from the next Icy Wind, so I need to make sure that I'm 3 away from the next Play Rough, which is why I took a little bit more extra damage here from the Clodsire. I know this will KO. Honestly, Icy Wind not doing... Or not Icy Wind. Icy... What's the fast attack called? Either way, not doing a lot of damage. Ice Shard. So we actually end up winning that with like 1 HP. Crazy. Alright, Jump Pluff. I do go... I mean, even though this is neutral... I mean, even if we threw the R Wheel, it would be neutral. So I do want to try to bait some damage onto this thing. But now it's too scary. Actually, Jump Pluff is actually pretty scary for this whole team, because it has the Fairy Wind as its fast attack, which is going to be super effective against Morpeko. Has the Grass move, which is going to... Energy Ball, which is going to be super effective to Azumarill. And then has, again, the... Fairy Wind move, which is going to be super effective against Goodra. So actually kind of a core breaker here, but it's fine. I'm going to come in Azumarill, just eat a lot of this energy. We resist everything that Malamar can do. The best thing that they could be doing is basically throwing the superpowers. Just does a little bit more damage. But I'm gonna probably do 2 more and then throw the Play Rough. Even though they did superpower here, maybe I could just go Ice Beam, but I'm not going to risk it. I don't know the matchup 100%. So I'm just going to throw this. I'm going to be all in kind of on Morpeko. I've also got a little bit of energy. If they do come back in with the Jump Pluff, I could go for the Ice Beam, which is going to be double super effective. They're 100% going to shield this. I can't let them go for like a farm down, but oh, they actually let it go. Ends up being a Toxapex in the back. And I go for the Aura Wheel. No, I don't, not the Aura Wheel, the Psychic Fangs here, because I'm going to have a lot of time in this matchup. I have 2 shields. They're not going to be able to throw any charge attacks. And I'm just going to throw this Psychic Fangs to get basically back to the Aura Wheel that's electric typing, and then throw into that. Although technically this looks like it's in range of getting hit with the 3rd Psychic Fang, since it's 2 times debuffed on the defense at this point. But I'm going to go Aura Wheel. I notice I have enough HP to get there. I'll just do it like that. So really good energy management. Some of these things are so good for Morpeko. Some are really freaking bad, like Clodsire. They end up coming with Ariados. Ariados, one of the best Mon right now in the Cup, or in Open Great League, because it's so fast to get to its moves. It's kind of like Morpeko in a sense, because it's very high attack stat. If it's in a bad matchup, so like against a Talonflame or even a Skeledirge, it's going to get absolutely destroyed, and the Skeledirge is going to pop off. Having basically infinite energy going with the Incinerates down. But when it's against other things, and Shadow Sneak is not something I was ready for, but when it's against other things, sometimes it's just going to get out bulked, I guess. So like the Dragon Breath damage here really builds up on it. We end up winning Switch. Shadow Sneak, not a normal move I would see. Lunge probably would have KO'd us with the Trailblaze that they had to up their attack the first time. I'm going to go for the Ice Beam here against Clodsire. This one will basically KO, and even if it doesn't KO, we actually probably will be able to farm down with the Morpeko. I have 2 shields, so now it's a question of... This is in range of Psychic Fangs, so it's a question of where I want to be. And I actually end up living that move, so I decided to go for another Ice Beam. And then I'm switching no matter what. So we're all in on the 2 shield here for Morpeko. We don't know what's in the back line. I will have to shield once here because they will outpace, considering they threw a lot of that, not all of their energy at Azumarill. But I know I can go for a decent amount of energy here at this point. This is going to KO. I'm going to have basically 2 Thundershocks worth of energy going into the next matchup. Maybe even 3. No, I have 4. They end up having Marowak. It's a ghost type. I actually did think it was Skeledirge, but this is going to one-shot either way. That move's insane. Our wheel's so cracked. Skarmory in the lead. They end up coming in with Double. Double is really fast to get to its moves. It's actually a Body Slam right now, but I'm going to just lower the attack and then switch to... Or lower the defense, rather, and then switch to Goodra. End up catching the Body Slam, which is nerfed this season, by the way. And now its defense is debuffed, so these Dragon Breaths really doing a lot. Technically, I'll survive this one, but I definitely won't survive the next one. And it does get to them really quickly, so I actually am going to have to throw a move here. I would have loved to have just gone for the full farm down. So maybe in the end, it wasn't even worth it to go for the Psychic Fangs, but, you know, it is what it is. I will get to this Thunder Punch, though, which is pretty nice. Maybe I wouldn't have KO'd with Aqua Tail if I didn't have that. And they ended up having Obstagoon in the back, and I have a Azumarill. And I even thought here, man, what if they boost? Is there a chance to lose if they boost? And, of course, they boosted. So they get 2 times attack increase here. Luckily, I do just have to one-shot them. And I can do it with this, or I can do it with... but my Morpeko's dark right now. I do have to remember I only have the dark type Aura Wheel right now, so it is resisted by the Obstagoon, which is tough. I end up going for the Ice Beam here just to try to conserve energy, because I know we're going to the 2 shields. They end up catching on the Skarmory, and then I'm like, okay, I guess I could just farm this down, and then I am actually the electric type. Wait. Does the typing reset on Switch? I guess it does. That's good. We both learned it here today. All right, here is a great matchup because we're facing another dark type, one that doesn't have a lot of damage, and then I'm just going to start increasing my attack. No need to lower their defense when increasing your attack does basically the same thing. Yeah, I decided not to shield this because I did want to see how much damage it did, and let me tell you, it does a ton. I end up throwing here on CMP, which is not... it's not bad, but it's not great either. I could just let this go, or I could try to farm down with a shield, but I wish I had... Well, I'm 2 times increased, right? Yeah, and this Toxicroak ends up taking me out. I feel like I remember losing this game. I think they end up having Sludge Bomb, which is going to do a lot here, but we are going to get the Ice Beam off against this. It won't KO. I guess technically Play Rough would KO. It is neutral as well, but it has Stab, and it's a little bit better. Oh, it's a lot better of a move anyways. But end up getting a little bit of farm here on the Goodra, I guess. They do have a little bit of HP as well. Ends up being Beedrill. They end up having a little bit of HP on the Umbreon as well, so we do have to be weary of a catch, but we are running... Man, and I get baited because they probably have Drill Run too. And then I'm just like, I'm just going to go for the farm down because they have 2 shields. What am I going to do? Throw these moves into it? I don't know. So now we're just to hope we live through the poison jabs, and we don't. And you got to remember that Umbreon's on 1 HP in the back. This was an awkward matchup here. Greninja's very quick to get to its moves. It's the same type of thing as Ariados. Greninja is seeing a lot of play because its attack stat is crazy high, and it gets to its moves insanely fast. You will obviously one-shot this thing. You could probably one-shot 2 Greninjas in a row with an Aura Wheel. But I'm increasing my attack, so these Thunder Shocks end up doing a lot more. But I'm contemplating whether or not I win the 2 shield scenario, just with fast attacks. But I end up going... they end up switching into a Swampert. I end up throwing another big move into the Swampert. It will one-shot, and it does one-shot, so that's pretty nice. I'm here switching. I'm ready to switch to Goodra because both of my Mon are very good against this Greninja. But I'm not going to take too much damage here on the Goodra, so I will just start ramping into a move. That's why I decided to go in with Goodra instead of Azumarill. Plus, it's my safe swap anyways, in case they actually do have a hard answer to Azumarill in the back, which you would think they would if they were running an ABB comp. But they're actually running pretty weak to Azumarill. I guess it's sort of like a team effort. Greninja can do stuff against Azumarill, but it will take both shields. And I have just so much HP on things in the back. I'll come in with Morpeko. I think I already have an Aura Wheel stored. And you see I tried to switch, it wouldn't let me. But that's fine. I didn't know whether or not I was one away from the Aura Wheel, so I ended up just throwing the Psychic Fangs. But it is what it is. I'm going to win this one anyways. GG. Poliwrath. So it's tough because counter is going to do a ton to Morpeko. Basically, am I pronouncing it right? Morpeko. Basically, it's almost like counter was buffed when you're facing a Morpeko with it, because it actually does just a ton. So, end up going for the Aqua Tail here. We get a little bit of lag, which is unfortunate because they end up sneaking an extra Mud Shot in, which is not nice. But we do get the shield. Technically, I'll live a Rock Slide, so I'm just gonna make him throw the Earthquake here. And I think they end up not throwing the Earthquake, which is pretty nice. They do end up catching here on the Poliwrath, unfortunate for me, but I do have a Azumarill in the back, which is going to be a hard counter to this. And they do have a decent amount of energy built up, but we can eat all of their energy as well. We resist every charge move that it has. It is counter, and I do go for the Ice Beam here, just because I can farm them down afterwards. I'm looking for energy right now. I don't care about auto winning this matchup or like hard winning this matchup by KOing this thing. I'm looking for energy where I can get it, because I don't know how needed this Azumarill will be in the back. Ends up being an Umbreon in the back, which is not great because we're getting low, but not bad, to be honest. I mean, they are gonna have to throw a move at this Azumarill. If they do throw, I think a Foul Play will KO at this range. But they are using some energy. I still have a switch and a catch possibility with the Goodra. You just have to know what timing they're at. I end up going for the catch. I do get the catch. You just have to notice when people are throwing their moves that they're always throwing it right on alignment. And if they are, I'm just going to go for the move. Now it's a question. I got burned earlier, and they do go for the Foul Play. So, yeah, I decided to not play around and try to go for the big move and see if I can KO this, even though it's 2 times resisted. But I do have back-to-back, and I really don't want to be in a Stunfisk matchup. I think this ends up being CMP, so I don't have to use a shield here, which is pretty nice. They still have the Poliwrath. Look how much damage that did. One counter did like 10%. Crazy. And then Aura Wheel would KO the Umbreon. All right. Dark-type matchup. All right, you will outpace to the Aura Wheel, but this thing has the possibility of going for Superpower, which will one-shot you for sure. And they went for CMP, which, good for them. They got a shield from us, but we will take that back if they stayed in, because we would have farmed them down and then done something. But they end up coming in with a Clodsire, so I just lower the defense a little bit, and then I come in with the Azumarill. Bubble is super effective, so I'm looking to, again, trying to come out of this matchup with as much energy as possible. I can take 2 Earthquakes. I can take 2 Sludge Bombs. I guess 2 Sludge Bombs. This guy must have Stone Edge as well. 2 Sludge Bombs plus all the fast attacks would be enough, and yeah, they do end up showing Stone Edge. I'm at 100 energy here, so I throw, because I'm not going to farm down, and then I just let all of that through, or I don't tap anything so that I can go for 2 more bubbles here and have a huge energy advantage. They end up coming in with a Jump Bluff, and I throw kind of right away, hoping that they won't shield. They end up shielding. I switch to Goodra. I don't care if they switch into their Malamar, because it's at so low HP and no energy that I can end up farming that down. So I'm fine just hard switching and getting myself into bad clock management here. Definitely want to go for the Thunder Punch, because it is neutral against the Grass Flyer here. Resisted by the Grass type, but it's super effective against the Flying type. They do have Aerial Ace, so we will live this. Question is, do I get to another move? I'm good throwing this Aqua Tail. At least it does some amount of damage. Notice, or you don't notice here, but I remember in this game, I'm definitely keeping count of where we're at. And I try to go for the catch. I get the catch. Hello. All right. Now, I go for the R wheel because I know I can make it to the next move, outpace them. So, and I also am hoping that I can farm them down, and I want that increase in damage going into that next matchup. It is... Okay, oh, I think I wait a turn here. Yeah. And then see the Fairy Wind come through and then throw. I don't want them to catch on Malamar, otherwise I lose. But I'm close to losing here anyways. I have to go for Psychic Fangs, lest they get to a superpower, and it's triple resisted, but that's enough, baby. Boom. All right, Morpeko, I think, passes the test for going to be on the Double Dark team. Yeah, this thing, just to note, if you go up against like a Marowak, I instantly basically lost a game against the Shadow Marowak, which wasn't showcased in this video. But yeah, if you get into a bad situation with Morpeko, there's almost no way out, and you can definitely just get screwed by some of the Mon in this cup, or in Open Great League, I guess. So one thing to look out for is how frail it is, but honestly, it did insane today. So I see so many people on higher leaderboard playing with Morpeko right now. It is going to be banned for Pokemon Play because there is a glitch where sometimes it doesn't switch forms. And if you get stuck in a form, you might be stuck in something that is resisted. Like if I get stuck in that dark Aura Wheel form, I'm not going to do that much damage to Azumarill because I'm never going to get back to the electric Aura Wheel form, which is going to be basically doing like 75% damage to an Azumarill in one shot. So anyways, if you liked the video, hit the thumbs up. If you would like to subscribe, definitely do that. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Oh, you know what? If I had the... Okay. Hey, thank you for watching the video, and if you want to continue to support me, definitely click that subscribe button. You'll see any content coming out, and if you want another video on this same league for some more tips and tricks to other teams, check that video out right there, and I'll see you in the next one.